This is a 2025 Ram 3500 Tradesman. And for 2025, I think this truck got the best updates. I borrowed it from Larry H. Miller Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. Be sure to ask for Adrian. Let's go ahead and check out the window stickers so you guys can see options and features on this build. At the very top is a description. Base price comes in at $53,320. And then this is a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause. Starting off the options is that fifth wheel and gooseneck towing prep group for $545. Bed utility is $845. Tradesman level 2 is $31.95. A lot of nice features in there. All weather floor mats, high output Cummins, rear wheelhouse liner for $195. Dual alternator for $495. Destination went up a little bit at $2,095. Total price is $73,520. For 2025, LED headlights do come standard. Back in 2019, Ram did make it available for tradesmen, but you had to spend like a ton of money to get them because you had to add all the packages. You couldn't get it as a standalone. So for 2025, if you don't want all this chrome, you can skip that Tradesman level 2 equipment group and just get LED headlights. Love that. Adaptive cruise control also comes standard. You guys can see the front parking sensors that was a part of that level 2 equipment group. Also black recovery hooks, LED fog lights. This is really a nice truck. If you're looking for an RV hauler, if you do hot shot, this is probably the one to get for sure. Now as you get a little bit closer, the chrome on the front end with the white doesn't look that bad. I actually don't mind it. It does break up the headlight design too. It's like an old school thing that Chevy used to do back in the day, and it kind of reminds me of that for this truck here. It does look like it has a camera on the front end, but it's just a dummy plate. You guys see that adaptive cruise control sensor right there. And then off to the side, solid front axle can be seen. This one has the 4-wheel drive system. You can see that huge sway bar, plastic liner, and then here are the tires. These are the Firestone Transforce HT2s, and these are going to be new for 2025. LT275 7018 is the tire size, 3,640 pounds, 80 psi code. First thing I would do to this truck is take these tires off for sure. And these are 33.2 inches tall, 10.8 inches wide. One thing to mention too, on the front end, you guys see your turn signals are LED, and it does have a Ram badge right there too. High and low beam LED. And I've always liked Ram's valance down below. Looks good. Here's a side view of the truck. Looks really good. Yeah, the first thing I would do is probably put a bigger tire for sure. None of your badging changes for this year. It's all a carryover. Mirrors do have the turn signals, which was an option. You have your fixed tubular style running boards. No smart key system. We have heated top and bottom mirrors. And let's take a quick peek underneath. No skid plate for that transfer case or transmission. And you guys did see, this one did not have the 50-gallon fuel tank. Now some people don't want a larger fuel tank because they don't plan on traveling long distances, right? So they need to lug along a bunch of fuel. Now here, you're gonna have a 32-gallon fuel tank, 7.5 gallon for 2025, up from 5.7. And here is the leaf pack. Nothing changes here, so you have those 4 leaves, bottom one being a helper spring. You guys see that E-coated frame also. That liner back here was an option, so just keep that in mind. Bed utility gives you this guy here. It does get a little muddy sometimes. Incandescent taillights for the Tradesman. Not a big deal for some people. It's an easy modification if you like. I do like the new Ram spelled out in the back. It looks big and burly. Class 5 hitch, rear parking sensors, 4 and 7 pin LED license plate lights there. And they still give you the light there if you're hooking up your trailer at night. I always have to say hooking up your trailer because when I just say hooking up at night, that just sounds terrible. So I do agree with you guys. This is not assisted. Fifth wheel prep package. You have tie downs. Spray-in comes part of the bed utility, by the way. Bed lights too. 4 and 7 pin, 400 watts of power. All incandescent bulbs there. Power sliding glass was an option with that defrost. And then below here, 342 rear end with the anti-spin, which is basically a limited slip diff, which is like an automatic locker, so to speak. And there's your spare tire. All matching, just in black. And then here's the side view of the Ram. So here's where that Allison 10L1000 is better than our Powerline ZF transmission, which is known as a torque flight through Ram. You cannot get PTO with this Tradesman. I am shocked that Ram did not decide to add that as an option for a truck like this. Now you can delete that bed back there for $400, right? So if someone wants to put a service body on here and they want the transmission to already have the PTO availability, this truck doesn't have that like the Allison does. So hopefully Ram will get with the program and add that, because that would be nice for some of those guys out there who do work with these types of trucks but don't necessarily need a big truck like that. Now with that being said, you could probably tell this looks like a new Cummins because it is. This has so many changes, there's just too many to go over in this video. I just noticed too, I can see the fuel rail in there. You can't see it on the other truck, but yeah, you can definitely see it here. Now I haven't shown you guys the CP8 yet. You can kind of see it. It's really tucked in there. It looks like a CP4, but they call that a CP8. So we'll have to wait and see how that does. But this new engine does have 430 horsepower, 1,075 pound-feet of torque. So it did go up 10 horsepower. And that's because this engine breathes better because of the intake and exhaust valves are slightly bigger. Intake manifold on this side has been restyled. They added a sensor here for airflow to maximize performance. So this is going to be an interesting engine to watch. It does still take the 10W30 oil or 5W40 if you want to run the synthetic. But overall, I'm really excited to see how this engine is going to perform. As far as serviceability goes, you guys see there, oil canister style filter. Both of the fuel filters are right there. Sorry about that. You can see one there, and then the other one is just slightly behind it. You can also see like the little yellow caps. If you get water in your fuel, you can pretty much empty it out using those. This truck did have the dual alternators. One's there, the one's on the other side. Let's go ahead and check out the interior for this truck. If you don't need the bells and whistles, this is your truck. Nothing really changes on the door except for this. This is all new. You still have auto up and down for the front windows. Love the fact that they still allow you to power that convex on this lower trim level truck. If you bought a $110,000 Ford F450 Platinum Plus, you cannot do that. And that bottom mirror is not heated like this truck is. So nice advantages. Now I will say, come on Ram, get with the program. We need these seats to go up and down if they're manual. I think that that's a big deal. If my wife is driving this truck, she's way too tiny to not have a seat go up. And we still don't have a telescoping steering wheel. And that's because this is the same cab from 2009. Auto headlights are still there. I love the fact they're still using that mechanical parking brake. Thank you, Ram. Please don't go to the electric. I love that so much better. So they're doing something right there. Love the fact that you have the black liner on the roof. It's a big deal for the overall styling of the interior, but it will affect comfort a little bit. I do like the fact that they give you the analog gauges. Hey, they work. So you have a small screen in the middle. Let's go and check out the passenger side. Getting in is pretty easy. Have open storage Most of this interior is going to be hard plastics. They do provide a mirror on this side. Glove box has that soft open. And what do you know? This is the first time I've seen this. This is awesome. I like this. So this is for your camper loading information. And they're saying cargo weight rating is 3,172 pounds. Be sure to pause it. Nice. That's really good stuff. I'm glad I saw that. I've never seen that paper. There's nothing on the back either too. So yeah, if you are wondering about using a truck for a bed camper, I guess your truck has to have that paper in there. This does have the 12-inch display also. USB inside this area, storage. And they give you a nice little handle right there. 3 cup holders. You flip this up. This seat has a lot of nice cushioning too right there. Oh, there's no storage here. So this is the truck that doesn't have it. The other two give you storage below that seat though. There's a hump in the middle there. No seat back pockets. No 60/40 bench, but you have pretty big storage there. Cup holders on the floor. You guys saw that power sliding glass. No armrest in the second row. Air vents, no USBs, no power back here. So it's pretty basic in the rear. One thing you can depend on Ram for is push button start. Comes standard all the way down to Tradesman. Love that. It's a big deal. Now 12-inch display is definitely welcomed on this truck. I believe you can get 360 camera as well. You don't have bed view camera unfortunately. Down below here you guys see it has nav. You can slide this all the way over if you like. And if you want nav full screen, that is available too. Now let's go ahead and go over to your trailering. If you go to dashboard, they do give you off-road pages, and it does show you the altitude down below. Shows you that the transfer case is unlocked, and they have gauges too, which are nice for going off-road. If you walk over to the towing and trailering page, you can hook up to 4 different trailers and set it up through the screen. They too give you gauges on this side, and this is the second page. They have a light check. Also, if you go to setup, this now shows tow nav, and I like that. Dual climate control was an option with that level 1 or level 2 equipment group. And if you go back to like home, for example, if you hit the button here, you can actually adjust this on the screen. Sometimes people like to touch the screen. Some people prefer hard buttons. It just depends on what you're looking for. Now, I just noticed they don't put, oh yeah, they do. I'm sorry, I just missed it. The sync is in there. So if you want to get there quickly versus having to go down to the comfort, it would be in this screen right on the side there, because they don't put a sync on the outside of the screen. Hey, Ram, wake up. You have a blank spot there. Put it, you know, that would probably be a little weird to have a sync, but I wouldn't care. Just give me the button. Just saying. Dual stage exhaust, so you have full, auto, and off. Tow haul mode, front and rear parking sensors. You have 4 USBs down there, coin holder, gear limiter, adaptive cruise control. Now if you put the transmission in drive, you guys see right there, it does start in second gear, but if you hit tow haul mode, it does lock up that torque converter, and boom, it'll start in second gear, or first gear, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, that first gear is like a 489. If you're unloaded, there's no need for you to start in first gear. This truck will burn out the tires for sure. Now if you want to control this screen, you do have these arrows on the side here. I'm just going to quickly go over to this page to show you all of the nice information that they give you. Starting off with the miles per gallon. Up next is your tire pressure. coolant, transmission temp, oil pressure, exhaust brake, boost pressure, diesel particulate filter, oil life, fuel filter life, battery voltage, and then you have a gauge summary, which is nice. Engine hours is right there. Overall, this is still a strong contender. This is where I think Ford and GM struggle with Ram in these cheaper trucks because of what they give you for the money. You can't get a large screen with the GM trucks, nor with the Ford. So if you want nice amenities, but you don't want a bunch of stuff, this truck is super nice for the money. And of course, Ram gives you the biggest discounts as well. If you want to slide that glass, it's right there. Let's go ahead and check out this big payload. Front gross axle weight rating is going to be 6,000 pounds. The rear is 7,000 pounds. And gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 12,300 pounds. The wheels are 18 by 8 wide. All-in payload is 4,134 pounds. You guys see the tire pressure, 60 out front, 80 in the rear. Now, if this truck had the 50-gallon fuel tank, that would take down the payload probably below 4,000 potentially. The Cummins is heavier this year. That transmission is lighter than the Eisen, but it's slightly heavier than the 68 RFE. So overall, this truck did see a decrease in payload because the 12,300 pound GVWR has been used on long bed 1 tons. But I hope you guys liked the video. I enjoyed seeing the Tradesman today. A lot of you guys have been complaining about my super expensive truck reviews like that. I actually have to do a video on that dually there. But these trucks did not come in first this time around. Normally when they unveil a new truck, these come in first and then they follow up with all the other higher trim levels. I'm actually going to do a video on this truck first because I want to check out those wheels. But be sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure your notifications are on. See you guys soon.